All right, everybody, come on in, come on in. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk with Maggie and Lucy. Hi, I am Maggie. Maggie, the substitute teacher. You may know me from my cooking channel where I make food and femininity content, but I cook with substitute ingredients. Together with Lucy, we are the proud founders and creators of the Finishing School for the Modern Woman. We just wrapped up our session on international etiquette with the ladies. So we do that in the real world. We teach ladies of all ages how to be the best version of themselves, leading with femininity, elegance, and etiquette. But twice a week, we'd like to come over here in the virtual world with you all because we believe the older women should teach the young. We react to relationship content, hopefully in a way that is helpful. So Lucy, please introduce yourself and let us know what are we reacting to today.
Hi, Maggie. Hi, everyone. I'm Lucy. I have a very small channel that has content about femininity, elegance, and things that impact women over a certain age. And yeah, we just finished our 7th session with the young ladies. And one of the things that is just beautiful to see is they take baby steps and they start seeing how their life, their world is changing according to how they are developing themselves. Their observational skills are getting much, much better, and they're understanding how that self-development impacts them and everyone around them. It's just beautiful. It's, we're creating such a group of beautiful women that will be teaching that knowledge to their young ones and their family members. It's kind of like a ripple effect. It starts with them and then it grows. So today, the video that we're sharing has a lot to do with respect for a man, and understanding that respect means so much to them. And we have lost a lot of the respect that they deserve in this modern world.
Yes, absolutely. Lucy and I both come from traditional immigrant families, and we were just talking about that in our session where this is a very first world Western problem where we believe that we're all equal. You all know, I say it over and over again, we're not, we're equally valued. So we appreciate the men that support us, even though we are talking to the women in our content. So your two disclaimers, we are here for the young ladies who still want a traditional family and marriage and relationship in this modern world. So if that's you, hopefully this is helpful. If not, that's totally fine. You just may not be happy here. So we want to make sure you know where we are coming from. Lucy and I combined have over 40 years of marriage experience. We both married young in our 20s, and that is the perspective that we speak from. Also, the video is called Respect Means Different Things to Men and Women. I've linked it in the description. If you want to watch it without our commentary, you are fine too. So we are going to struggle share our screen. This one is a little bit longer. It's about a 20-minute video, so we'll play and then we will react to it. So I see you all over here on TikTok and on Instagram. We always want to bring you all into the conversation. You can come to YouTube or Facebook, my channel or Lucy's channel. We've got Jurgen in the house. We got Discipled One in the house. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and mute myself, and let's listen to the importance of respect.
It just didn't hit the mark. That's because men don't crave love the way that we're for is respect. Let me tell you why respect is everything for men. Respect in particular for men validates a man's natural biological role as protector, provider, and leader. Without respect, love can feel very hollow or even patronizing, and it doesn't address his core need to be seen as capable and trustworthy. Now, don't get me wrong, men do value love, and I say that as a man who's celebrating his 16-year wedding anniversary this month, but it's not our primary measure of relationship safety, worth, or even satisfaction. And this is even reflected in our biology. Testosterone and respect have an interlinked relationship. relationship. Now, testosterone, the hormone most associated with masculinity, women have it too, but men have a lot more, is closely tied to feelings of confidence, leadership, and confidence. When a man perceives respect from the people around him, especially his partner, through words or actions, it triggers an increase in testosterone production.
Okay, so I want to take a moment to unpack that. He said a lot. He's coming in hot. Hopefully you all were able to hear and see, but I think I've said this before, but I love especially hearing it from the men, because ladies, if you want a traditional relationship, we believe men lead and we follow. And if we want to be covered, if we want to be spoken for, if we want them to claim us as their own, we have to give them what they want, not what we want. And one of the things that he said is that love can feel hollow to a man if respect is not part of that. So what does that mean, ladies? You know, this is Valentine's week coming up. If you celebrate, you can do all the lovey-dovey things. You've heard me say it. You can wear what he likes. You can make his favorite food. You can do all the intimate things. But if you don't respect him, it's going to fall flat. The other thing that he said, you all have heard me talk about this natural biology that we have. And that's why, in my opinion, there's a flaw when we try to say we're equal. To me, equal means interchangeable. And I do not believe we are interchangeable. But he said a man's natural biology is to feel capable and to feel needed. And that's one of the things that I've had to learn. It's important to men that their life matters, that their existence means something, that they were actually here for a purpose. That's why their purpose is more important than our relationship. Men are always thinking long term. Ladies, we think in the moment, we get all excited about how we feel right now, but men think about who is going to remember me when I'm gone, who is going to speak my name, who is going to continue to hold me in honor, because they know they're not going to be here forever. So feeling like the limited time that they have is used wisely is very important to men. And so you should know that if you want a relationship with a man. So the more that we show respect for the work that they do and then the effort that they put in, it's kind of like this loop. Did you hear him when he said that testosterone that a man has naturally, when we respect him, it lights a fire in him for him to want to do more for his woman, for his family. All right. He's not going to just, fall on his sword for anybody. Lastly, I'll say this, ladies, the opposite is also true. I have heard women say, you got to get in there. You know what? You got to talk to them this kind of way. You basically got to, show them who's boss. You are not going to call forth the man that you think you're going to have by belittling him, by insulting him, by comparing him to other men, by disrespecting him, by doing any of these things that are not respectful. You actually get the opposite of what you think you're going to get. So that's the first thing that stood out to me. Lucy, what would you say?
And the reason I shared this particular one about respect was because the last live session was with the Whatever podcast. Remember that young lady talking back to Andrew Wilson like it was either, somebody that she had met for a long time, and they were doing the back and forth. Ladies, men see that back and forth and that, just napping right away about something that they say as disrespect. It also reminds me of respect in prisons. That means that's huge. When there are men together, the disrespect is one of the main things that could have another man deleted. So again, that means a lot for men. So again, if you start thinking, how much that word and the what it means to men is, I think you're going to start seeing men in such a different, mostly positive way. I think that the modern world, feminism has taught these young women to look at men so differently and to disrespect them just because they're men. And that is something that to me, it's so odd when I see it. And it's, again, I come from a traditional family. You could not be any more conservative than my family. And we see it in the younger generation of women. So again, it is so sad and it's angering to see it because they're young and they think that they know it all. And even if it comes from a loving person to, to try to correct them, they're going to do what they're going to do. So again, unfortunately, life, as I've said before, has a way of humbling us all. And we are trying to teach the young women that, you can learn by what other people are showing you and are asking you and are telling you to do. You don't necessarily have to experience that.
Absolutely. So I'm going to bring you all into the conversation and see what you all are saying. But young ladies, especially those of you all that were raised on this equality, I want to try and give you some tangible ways that you can ask yourself, are you respecting your man? Do you feel that you can learn anything from him? Can he teach you anything? Do you feel that you know more than he does? Do you shut him down when he starts to speak? Do you try to correct him? Do you henpeck little things? In my opinion, I feel like, when my man walks in the room, I sit up straight and I want to make sure that everything, I'm acting accordingly. The respect that I have for him makes me watch, what I say, how I behave, how I dress, the things that I, consider entertainment. These are all ways that you can show respect or disrespect to your man. So again, ladies, ask yourself, the man that you have or the man that you want, do you look at him in a way that is admirable? Or do you just think, yeah, whatever, he'll do? All right, let's see what you all are saying in the chat, and then we will continue on. Thank you all so much for being here. I already see we're coming in hot. Hello, Gillis is with us. Thank you so much for being here. We have a birthday girl. Happy birthday, Jessica. You got a milestone coming up. All right. Just another Mark says, I've had women tell me they love me shortly after disrespecting me. They know they did something wrong, but instead of apologizing, they feel like just saying, I love you makes everything okay. No. This is so unfortunate. And I have seen this, ladies. If you are one of those that you fly off the handle, if you have bad behavior, if you act unruly, and then when you get feedback, you want to turn on the waterworks and say, but I love you. It's not going to fly. Basically going in one ear and out the other ear. So again, remember, for the men that we want, respect means more than love. Disrespect him and it's over. All right. Rodney is agreeing. Thank you so much for the support. He's invited, extend an invitation through respect. Maybe I missed part of that, but everybody's doing well. Disciple 1 says Andrew Wilson was holding back. And just another Mark said, then they say I changed when I no longer show them love, care, and affection. I will only explain it once to a grown woman what I find disrespectful. It's up to her after that to change or not. Ladies, I've told you, my man told me, you got one time in a row to figure this out. The men that we want are not going to explain and re-explain. Again, that's another way that we are different. Ladies, we like to talk and think things over and rehash it. A man is going to tell you one time because he's already processed it and he's going to let you figure out which way to go. All right, let's go back in and see what else we can learn.
This boost in testosterone enhances his drive to lead, solve problems, and protect the relationship. Yes, the more respected a man feels, the more testosterone he has, and the more protective he becomes of the people who respect him. There was even a study from the field of psychoneuroendocrinology that highlights how testosterone increases in men who feel admired and respected, improving focus and motivation during tasks. This is a documented, proven relationship between respect and testosterone. So anybody out there who wants to have a healthier relationship at all, you need to make sure that respect is a primary feature in that relationship. It's also a measurement of safety for a number of reasons. Now, most Very masculine men are not going to look for safety in relationships. So the word safety usually doesn't fit quite right for them. But let me help understand what safety actually means in this context. Okay. A couple of pieces. Number one, for men, respect in relationship signals their partner trusts their abilities to make decisions, to solve problems, and lead effectively. A woman might love you, but she still might cheat on you or take control over you. If she sees you as a child, she can still love you. But if she sees you as a man, she's going to respect you. Manhood, healthy manhood, commands respect naturally. It doesn't steal it. The natural response to a truly healthy man is respect and admiration because he lives to honorable goals. He has integrity. He keeps his word. He is stable. He is capable. All of that engenders natural respect from others who see him. So if a woman loves a man, that's cool. But if she respects him, he's safe in the relationship from her not being loyal, usually, as long as she's a good woman. He's safe from her cheating on him, having a child secretly with somebody else. A woman who respects you will be devoted to you. Crucial. Now, remember that respect is directly tied to trust in his character. And trust is a cornerstone of more secure attachment. Trust tells men their efforts are not only seen, but appreciated. It reinforces their sense of purpose within the relationship. It tells them that people are securely attached to them instead of just wobbly, I'm attached to what you give me or the feelings you make me feel. When a man hears, I love you, he might say, I'm glad that you feel good about me. When a man hears, I respect you, his brain thinks, I am glad that you see my character as worthy of trust and that you are going to stay with me and be loyal. Big difference between love and respect, typically, for most men.
Wow, ladies, that one just hit me like a ton of bricks. How many of you all are pontificating on how much you love? And to a man, it's like, that's great. I'm really glad you feel that way. But that respect, the way that he connected it to safety is fascinating to me. The other thing that he said that struck me, he said that a man who is living his life in an honorable way just commands that respect because of who he is. So young ladies, what is the lesson here? This is nothing that you can pull out of a man. You cannot force it. You cannot nag him to be different. You cannot change him. A man is going to decide the life he wants for himself. Your job is to determine if he is living in a way that you can see fitting into his lifestyle, not taking him on your sailboat, and being a support system to him in his vision. If you want something traditional, one of the biggest flaws that I see, and I just taught another class, is that women find men that they like or a boy that they think is cute, and then they're trying to make a man out of him or make him husband material. That will fail every time. You have to see that man on his purpose, doing his own thing without you, and say, that is a program I can get on. So that is the question, ladies. So the men that we want have built themselves. They have, slayed their own dragons and conquered their own demons and done all of that work so that when you see them, you're kind of like, oh yes, I can respect that. If you don't feel that way about the man that you have or the man that you're looking at, if he just kind of makes you tingle and you're like, ooh, that would be a fun boy toy or whatever, it will not work. You will grow to resent him because the relationships that have lasted the test of time, it is because that woman respected that man. So you have to decide if that's what you want to do. What would you add, Lucy?
I agree. And that goes back to also, again, talking about observational skills. You want to see the man that you think that you could possibly be be a couple with. Again, the man is the one that's going to choose. So again, you can wish as long as possible, but if the guy is not interested, then it's time to move on. But if you're in a dating situation and you see yourself into more of a serious relationship, you are going to think, is this the man that I want to be the father of my children, to see possess those things that that make me feel secure. And do I tell him, baby, I feel so safe around you. I respect all that you do. No matter what you say, I will, my husband, he wanted me to take a look at microwaves. Our microwave broke. I said, baby, just choose whatever. I know that you're going to pick the right one. It's a beautiful microwave. I know I don't know how to work it yet, but it's because they just installed it. But it's beautiful. It's just so menacing to see. But he chose it, and I trusted him because I knew that he was going to do the right thing. So it's that thing that you have to be sure that that man, no matter what he does, you're going to be sure that he's going to do it because he wants to do it for you. Bottom line, the man that has chosen you, all that he does, you are his purpose, believe it or not. And again, you are going to be devoted to that man that you respect. There's no such thing as, oh, I'm looking at another guy, that's looking at me, that's DMing. That's not even part of what we do, because we have only eyes for him, for the man that gives us everything. And we respect, till the day we die.
I could not agree more. You had me at new microwave. You already know. I heard that and I was like, ooh, shiny new toys. Let's see what you all are saying in the chat. Jurgen says this is one of the main reasons why so many men have withdrawn from women. Yes, ladies, the men, if you don't respect them, it's not even worth their time, because that is more important to them. All right. Disciple one says, yes, can he teach you anything? Maggie, you're preaching again. It's true, ladies. And this is the problem. And ladies, I love education. I come from academia. We love our big jobs and all of that. But you need to have a man that you feel can teach you something, that you can learn something. And I'm not saying it has to be textbook knowledge, but that's part of the respect that we have for them. It's like, you've done more than me. You're stronger than me. You're wiser than me. I know my man is calmer than me. They have a skill set that we don't have. That's why we are better together. So what can you learn from your man? Ask yourself that. Rodney says it's so much better or wiser to learn from other experiences versus our own. We only have so much time in this life. Such a true statement. And that's why we hope this is helpful. Unfortunately, we see a lot of ladies get up in their middle age and older, and they're learning the things they should have learned when they were teenagers. All right. You all are agreeing. Gillis is here for one time in a row. Yeah. I sat there looking like, what does that even mean? One time in a row. Yes, that's how he talks to me, y'all. Y'all know what it means now. Nino Mister strikes again. Rodney says men will fight another man over disrespect. Yeah, Lucy talked about the prison example. I hope we never know, but it's true. All right, let me keep scrolling and Rodney says, with a woman, a man should walk away. Yeah, absolutely. It's not going anywhere. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. Yeah, y'all were here. If you missed last week, it was out of order. A woman was building a life that she thought a man was going to get on her program. You can do that if you want, but she was 21. Find me when you're 41, my dear. Jessica says, I had a question with using the word partner. I remember on another live, Maggie, that you said you don't like that word either, but I was wondering if you can explain it in your own words. We all have our thing. And for me, I understand that some people use the term partner. They mean life partner. I get it. I have a visceral reaction to the word partner because to me, partner means interchangeable. I'm going to do exactly what you do. You can take me out of the ring and put you back in, and I'm going to go just as hard as you. That's not going to happen. So yes, we partner up. Yes, we have life partners. But in my opinion, not only does using the term partner take the romance out of it, but it assumes what I think is a very dangerous belief that a man is just like a woman and a woman is just like a man. And if you want a traditional family, you know that is not the case. All right, let's go back in.
Okay. Reinforcing that sense of purpose within the relationship of you respect me, I must stay worthy of that respect. It helps him rise to that challenge in a good man. Respect says, I believe in you and your ability to rise to challenges and to maintain honorable character during difficult times. This trust strengthens his commitment. It eliminates fears of betrayal or being undervalued so he can give more to the relationship. A lot of women say, I can't give myself fully to the relationship till I feel loved. A lot of men, same thing. I can't give myself fully to this relationship until I feel respected. Now, there are a lot of women out there who say, I'm exhausted. I'm always in my masculine, the mental load is too much. I wish he would just and make decisions and exist. Why won't he lead? And a lot of women are worn out. When a woman, again, expresses respect to that man, it creates a surge of testosterone in him, a hormone that drives confidence, focus, and leadership, and stronger decision making, and more likelihood of making decisions for you, and maintain that in my life. Here are some actionable examples of cultivating respect backed by science. Number one, men have skills and competence. It's what we accrue in our life. Skills makes us who we are, and our competence makes us masters in areas. Activate reward centers in men's brains, reinforcing their confidence and sense of purpose. This is not, oh, good boy. Oh, you did a good job. Here's a gold star. That's not what this is, though you can do that to children to sort of foster some of this trust and respect. An example here is, hey, I trust you to figure this out. You're great at handling situations like this. During a crisis, hey, you know what? I know that you're going to get us through this. Hey, I know it's hard right now, but I believe that you are going to get up from this and make a difference. I believe in you during hardship. I trust you. These are enormously important statements. Okay. Why does this work? Because it shows belief in his abilities. That fosters emotional and physical engagement. He wants to rise to that challenge. Men love challenges when someone believes in them. Now, respect is incredibly important during conflict. In moments of conflict, a lot of women who've been burned, they roll their eyes, they sigh, they get sarcastic, they push back, they get angry, accusatory, and they actually make the situation worse and then tell him, I have no faith in you and I think you're going to screw everything up and I don't trust you. You're a child. I still love you, but get out of my face so that I can be the man here. And
Whew, all right, he said a lot. A couple of things stood out to me. Ladies, ask yourself, how do you handle stressful times in your relationship? Do you turn towards your man or do you turn against your man? If he is not someone that you can wholeheartedly say, you know what, we're going to get through this together, you lead and I follow, what are you doing? If you want something traditional, in my opinion, you're just wasting your time because life is about those ups and downs. I always say marriage and relationship is not just I like you and you like me and we're going to look into each other's googly eyes forever, or look at how he wears a suit when I get him all dressed up the way that I want and he just stands there and looks the way that I like. Does he have the character that you can trust blindly, if need be, and say, you know what? You have proven yourself, to your peers, and to the world. So I have no problem trusting you. I want to circle back to something that he said as far as the cycle of, it seemed like a little bit of a chicken and egg thing going on. Did you hear him when he said, some women say, well, I can't respect you until I feel love from you. And men say, well, I can't love you until I feel respect from you. Got it. So now we're at the stalemate. But here's the issue, ladies. Men are the ones that establish relationship. And until you admit to yourself that you want something from him, because if you could do it yourself, you would. But we are not the ones that say, you know what, today I am Mrs. So-and-so. No, he asks, and then we accept with grace or we exit with grace. So ladies, if you want a relationship, the only way to break that stalemate is you have to start by respecting him. And then the love will come later. If you are unwilling to do that, you do not want a traditional relationship. You are not built for it. And I accept that. Not every woman is supposed to be a wife. That's why I tell the ladies that I talk to when they say, okay, I found this boy and I like him. And I start asking tough questions. Do you respect him? What is his life plan? What has he told you he needs from you? And they just start blinking fast. And they're just like, I don't know. I just like him so much. Not good enough. If you want a relationship that's going to last a test of time. So that's why I say, ladies, only date men that have already built themselves and you can respect. Then you can decide, okay, do we like each other? But if you say, I like him first, and then you're trying to find reasons to zip it when times are hard, the relationship is doomed. What would you add, Lucy?
Yes, I like him first, and then you figure out that, for whatever reason, you don't respect him. That is a recipe for, disaster, especially if you're dating with intention. If you're dating to see if that man is possibly going to maybe fall in love because he knows that you respect him. Again, if he finds that you are, when you're intentionally dating and you show that man respect, there's a higher chance that that man is going to say, yeah, she's the one. Again, this is up to you, ladies, whether, you think that this is nonsense. Because I see a lot of social media saying, all these traditional concepts and conservative concepts are just so dated. Unfortunately for you, ladies, men are not. Men have maintained consistency with the way they are for centuries, since we were born, since the ice age or whatever. So again, just remember, respect for them is so important. It doesn't matter how much you love them. If there's a little bit of contempt for them, that's disrespect. So again, just think about it and start looking for things that make you respect him before making you love him. You got to respect him first.
I absolutely love that, ladies. If you get it out of order, then you end up having feelings for someone who can't lead you, having feelings for someone who can't protect you, who can't provide for you, who can't cover for you, because you didn't see that and wait for that confirmation first and then see if we like each other. Believe me, the good stuff will come. The fun stuff will come. The wonderful Valentine's moments will come, but you have to respect him first, not only for him, but ladies, for you as well. All right. Discipled One says, Lucy said, I respect all that you do. Will send a man to the moon in a positive way. Absolutely, ladies. Your words really do mean something. Gillis says, Maggie, that was me 100% back in the day. If I wasn't gushing over a man, it was a no-go. I just couldn't do it. Terrible trait to have. It made me lose perspective of what is important in my youth. Thank you for sharing that. And young ladies, hear me. This is not uncommon. I see this with a lot of women. It's like you show them a man that is of good character and he just doesn't do it for me, or, he's not this enough, or whatever your things are. You like what you like, fine, but you're just going to continue to waste time that you don't have. And then believe me, when you get our age, that character stays, okay? That six-pack may go, just like your body has changed as well. But if you have a man of good character, that is who he is. So ladies, ask yourself, in the relationship that you have or the relationship that you want, what is drawing you to him? Is it his jawline? Is it his broad shoulders? Is it whatever superficial characteristic? And that's fine to like that, but don't let that lead you, or you may find yourself alone. All right. Rodney is saying Miss Lucy is sharing the moments that her husband knows that she respects him. Absolutely. Just another Mark says, as it relates to the word partner, I would highly suggest that folks look into the origins of that word as it relates to intimate and romantic relationships. Apparently there's some science there. I just don't like it because I know what my man has explained to me. All right. Jessica says, thank you for the confirmation. You're welcome. Sorry, guys, my struggle video, I tried to turn the resolution down, so maybe it'll play a little bit better. Jurgen says, men hate the term partner because that is what differentiates a relationship from a business. This is what my man said. So ladies, if you are confused, the reason my man doesn't like partner means 50-50. I gain as much as you gain. I risk as much as you risk. I'm up at 6 a.m. Can't see outside. You're right next to me. So ladies, if that's how you want your relationship to go, feel free to use the word partner. But if we're really being honest with ourselves, we want the men to be good at what they're good at, and we want to do what we're good at, which is something different. We are not interchangeable. When you use the term partner, a lot of men think business partner. And ladies, we know we are not the ones who, if there's not enough, we expect the men to sacrifice and make sure we are cared for. If there's a bump in the night, we expect them to go check it out and keep us to safety. If there's only enough budget for one reliable vehicle, we expect them to have the beater car and for us to be able to drive in comfort and safety. So to me, it's an insult to use the word partner because we don't have as much skin in the game as the men do. And they're okay with that as long as we respect the sacrifice that they're making. All right, ladies, hopefully that's helpful. And sorry about that in struggle stream, you all. Rodney says, very important point that I didn't realize the word partner takes the romance out of the relationship. You can say my husband, or yeah, let me introduce you to my partner. I'm looking like who's the other half of this this business deal? Gillis says, good point, Jürgen. Partner does sound businessy. Hopefully that's helpful. Okay, thank you so much. Just another mark. Discipled One says, to a man, partner is a business term. All right, ladies, you're hearing it. The men are here confirming. So hopefully that's helpful to you. And relationship is where men and women, yes, there is a common goal, but we're both working just as hard, but in different ways. All right, everybody good? Yes, don't mix business with pleasure. All right, let's go back in and see if you all can see and hear.
A lot of men hear that messaging, which is why a woman can love you but still cheat on you because she doesn't respect you. She sees you like a child. The respect component does not mean being a doormat, ladies. It means saying, instead of saying you always mess things up, it's things like, hey, I know you are trying your best and I want to work through this together. So let's find a better way forward. Okay, key changes like that, working together, asking more questions to understand where he's coming from. The accusations, the sarcasm, the eye rolling, all of that just serves to undermine the relationship, and you may as well just break up tomorrow. Why does respect during conflict work? Because respect during conflict reinforces, again, that safety, but the stability, and it minimizes his fight or flight response. He's more likely to calm down and lean in, especially if his testosterone is going up because you believe in him. Big difference. A third thing that really helps show respect is showing gratitude. Expressing gratitude for his contributions, whether they're large or small, taps into his need for recognition and trust. And again, this isn't like, oh, good job, baby. You brought me a candy bar. Thank you so much. That's not what this is. That would be disgusting. Don't ever do that again, unless you want to end your relationship fast. An example of this is, hey, thank you for taking care of that issue. It really made a difference for me. Hey, thank you for filling my car up with gas. Thank you for paying that bill and on time getting that in. Thank you for working so hard at that job that you hate to take care of us. I know it's really tough. Hey, thank you for coming to this family event with me. It meant a lot to me. I know it was probably exhausting for you, but it meant a lot that you did that for me. Hey, thank you for supporting me during this really hard time. Hey, thank you for bringing me the soup or that pizza when I was tired or hungry. Hey, thank you for door dashing me that sandwich. Thank you. Gratitude. Thanks for the things you have provided. Okay. Gratitude strengthens that dopamine, respect, feedback loop, which also increases testosterone, motivating him to do more. That thank you for what you do. One of the best things my wife does when I'm working hard at my job is she walks up, puts her arms around my neck and gives me a hug and says, thank you for working so hard for our family. Does that mean she doesn't work hard for our family? No, she works her absolute tail off, but she's still thankful for the labor I'm putting in. Do I do the same thing back? Absolutely. But here's the thing. A lot of women hear that and say, why should I have to thank him for the hard work? I'm working hard too. You're ruining your relationship. Okay. You are ruining your relationship with that kind of thinking. Well, if I thank him, then it makes him feel like he's the only one working hard. You're ruining your relationship. If you cannot show gratitude to a man in a relationship, you cannot have a relationship with a man. And you are probably at least half of the problem in your relationship, probably more like 75% of the problem.
I don't think it can get any clearer than that. Ladies, that gratitude is so important. I get so frustrated at the entitlement of a lot of modern women, not all, but nobody is here to just make sure that you get what you want just because you woke up today. That's not how this works. The men that we want, one of the things that I find it fascinating when I talk to men, they can do with so much less. Ladies, you do not understand. These men, as successful as they are, a one-room studio, a little bungalow looking on a beach, a little beater pickup truck that they love, happy. So what does that mean to you? All of this other stuff that they do, they don't want it. They do it for us. The house in the neighborhood that's overpriced because of the school district, they do it for the family. The ridiculous vacations and posing in these pictures and doing all the things so that you can tell your friends that you went somewhere. They did that for you. Celebrating all these made up holidays and getting overpriced chocolate and flowers and all of that. They do it for us. So I get really passionate about that. But my point is this, ladies, that gratitude will go a long way. If you understand that they don't want any of this stuff, why do they do it? Because we want it. That is their way of showing us, you know what? I'm willing to go without for you. I'm willing to put in that extra, overtime shift for you. I'm willing to have 4 extra bedrooms that we don't need for you. So that gratitude will get you a long way, ladies. All right. What would you add, Lucy?
And that is part of the appreciation that you have to show for the person that's with you. I mean, it's funny that he said that his wife goes in the morning and hugs him. I do the same thing in the morning. While he's working at his desk, I go and I hug him and I say, thank you so much for, the microwave. It's beautiful. I still don't know how to work it, but it's thank you for getting it for us. Thank you for, doing the lawn. It looks beautiful. Just appreciating all the little things that they do for us. Again, asking your man to go overboard on Valentine's Day, to give you the chocolates and to give you all of these things, to pretend that you have all this love to other people instead of just, appreciating the love every day. To me, that means so much more to them than, all that exaggeration of, celebrating one day a year. Again, that's consumerism for us again. But don't fall for that. Young ladies, life is not about all the things that he can get for you. Because you know what? Believe it or not, he does. He does. But don't come into a relationship thinking that you're entitled to that, because that's not going to work out well. And this is what I see in the modern younger women, thinking that it's all about material stuff and the other stuff you don't have to worry about. The other stuff, especially the respect for them, is the main thing that you need to focus on. Then everything else will come.
Absolutely. It's like a feedback loop, like he said. They'll do more when you show appreciation. All right, let's see what you all are saying in the chat. Jürgen is saying love is a decades-long process and not a momentary state. I love that. Ladies, if you realize there's a reason why men take so long to be able to say, I love you, because when they say that, there's action behind it. Love means I will protect for you. I will risk my life so that you have safety. I will go without so that you are covered. I will go hungry if there's only enough for one to eat. I will make sure that I sacrifice so that you can have a smile on your face. That is why. And it takes them a while to get there. And when they say it, they mean it. So those of you ladies who are just like, oh my God, I just love him. I just love you so much. I just love you. Yet you're out here acting in a way that is disrespectful at every turn. They don't believe you, and they shouldn't. All right. Jürgen says just being in love is a momentary state. Absolutely. Jessica says, I appreciate you all about that. I had a man tell me that. Uh-oh. Ladies, I'm going to tell you some of the feedback that I got. If your man has told you something, anything that you hear here, and we are reinforcing it, go back to that man. Humble yourself. Go back to that man and tell him, you told me this first. I should have listened to you. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. That is a piece of low-hanging fruit that shows respect to him. One of the things that is very disrespectful to men is when you compare them to other men. How do you do that? Pastor said, or I heard this on this show, or whatever. When he told you something and you don't believe him, but you hear the same thing, especially from another man, and then you want to act on it, disrespect. All right. That's a free one for you. Jessica says, I was confused and didn't know how to look at that term. All right. It didn't sit right with you. Disciple 1 says, extending gratitude is huge among men. Ladies, they're telling you here. And Rodney says, no one likes to be patronized. And yes, ladies, touchy subject here, but those of us in our big jobs and our big degrees, did you hear him when he said, we don't want to love or talk to a man like a child? That's another thing that takes the romance away. Part of having that attraction, part of having that desire comes from that respect of your man, comes from looking at him like he is the king, at least of this castle here. If you find yourself like, he doesn't really do it for me. If you start having wandering eyes and all these things, and you're looking for things that turn you on in different places, you don't respect your man. That's what you need to focus on, or don't be with him. But don't sit there and deny him because he's providing for you or doing the things that you like. And you don't respect that man. As soon as he's not there, you just, tear him down to shreds. You deserve what's coming to you. Let's continue. NW says, do I have any videos on dating with the intention to marry? We got a whole playlist. You can also look at the relationship basics. Actually, I'm going to give you all a shameless plug. We have 2 courses. So we have, if you're new at this, Lucy and I have one called Relationship Basics. Everything is at teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. That one's a 2-week course. You can take it on demand. We tell you, ladies, how to look for a husband, how to make sure that you are dating with intention. I'm very excited for our other course. We start this one next month, March 8th, Wife Archetypes. The workbooks just came in, so I'm going to be shipping these out. Ladies, if you don't know what it means to be a wife, if you really think a relationship is we're just going to be fun roommates and I don't have to do anything, I'm just supposed to sit there and look cute, go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. You can use the code WIFE for $50 off. It's a 4-week course. I'll mail you the workbook and we start March 8th. Okay, so there's some resources for you. That's my man said that is our best course. All right, so mean old mister has spoken. All right, let's go back in. Take this comment down. All right.
Okay. You need to be able to show respect to the man. And if you're with a man that you can't respect, you need to leave the relationship because there's a massive problem. Why would you be with a man you can't respect? Why would you do that to yourself? Why don't you respect yourself enough to be with a man that you respect? Only be in a relationship with a man that you can respect. And if you currently don't, and you're married to him, work with him to become a man who's worthy of respect. That's another thing you can do, but he must rise to that challenge. Men must be worthy of respect, and then women need to give respect. That's mandatory for relationships to function. Now, why can't relationships work if she doesn't respect him, right? We've seen, 40 years of sitcoms of women just, rolling their eyes. Men are stupid. All the fathers in every sitcom is a complete idiot. Men are stupid. Only women are smart. Men are idiots. Every commercial teaches women disrespect for stupid, oafish men. This has been really fostered into our society, okay? It's not that every woman is disrespectful. That's not the case in any way, shape, or form. But it is so saturated into our culture that it's hard to remember that that's not how it's supposed to be. Respect builds great relationships. Disrespect destroys relationships, okay? A woman disrespecting a man is the same as a man cruising pornography on the couch in front of her. That's a pretty sharp statement, but it's true. It fosters a tremendous amount of resentment and withdrawal on both sides. When a man feels disrespected, it creates a massive psychological dissonance between his role in the relationship and how he's perceived. This leads to an emotional shutdown as his efforts feel futile, useless, and undervalued. I work 12 hours a day at a job I hate to take care of my family. And when I come home, my wife tells me that I contribute nothing to our family because I didn't take her on a date or do the laundry. She says I do nothing. That's soul crushing. That is soul crushing. And yet, that's a standard thing that a lot of men hear from their wives. You do nothing for me. And he's like staggering in the door, covered in like smoke and soot and blood from it on his hands. And he's exhausted. You do nothing for our family. Disrespect. He's doing something, most likely. Maybe not fully what you're looking for, but something. And again, back to gratitude. Studies in social cognitive and affective neuroscience confirm that perceived disrespect reduces activity in brain areas tied to connection and trust. This means that emotional withdrawal is a natural but damaging response. When he feels disrespected, you get less emotional intimacy, and he doesn't want to connect to you. Ladies, when you don't feel loved, do you want to immediately have sex? Probably not. When he doesn't feel respected, do you really think he wants to have a conversation with you, hold your hand, talk about your day, listen to your difficulties, help you emotionally regulate? Do you think he cares if he feels massively disrespected and he's told that he has contributed nothing to the family? If you roll your eyes when he talks, if a problem comes up and you say, I'll just do it, you always get it wrong. Do you really think that's going to happen? It also gets more destructive if the man is not emotionally regulated. And some men, quite honestly, are not. There's a lashing out effect. And I don't mean physically. I'm not blaming women for that aspect. I mean resentment. When he emotionally lashes out, he feels deeply disrespected. Men who feel that way are more likely to lash out emotionally in an attempt to regain control, because he feels disrespected somewhere in the relationship. This often spirals into destructive cycles of conflict that further erode the foundation of the relationship. So let's be really, really clear. What does disrespect look like in some of its most common ways? Number one is public or private criticism, like belittling, questioning his competence, complaining about him in public. Okay? Complaining to other people, complaining to your friends, complaining to people about how stupid he is, how he doesn't care, how he doesn't dress nice, complaining to other people and shaming him, embarrassing him, even just privately to his face, belittling him and telling him he is incompetent. Betrayals, obviously, like cheating, but also lying, breaking promises. This signals his efforts and trustworthiness are not valued, and that you're going to stab him in the back because he's unworthy of your respect.
All right, so let's unpack that. That was a lot, and it's pretty heavy. Yeah, ladies, he gave some really striking examples, and you just have to ask yourself and be honest with yourself if you've done those things because he didn't mean anything by it. He'll get over it. He's such an idiot. Look at him, watch him dance. Look at him try. It's so goofy. Is that how you have fun? Is that how you poke fun at your man? Is that how you talk about him when you're with your friends? Ask yourself, and then answer yourself when he really doesn't want to spend time with you. So many women go straight to, well, he doesn't do it for me in the bedroom. Wonder why? Are you treating him in a way that makes him feel respected, like he can conquer anything, including you? Or do you talk down to him? Do you talk about him? Do you shame his efforts? Do you wipe the slate clean? You don't do anything. Look at that. Look at their car. They just went on this vacation. Look at their house. Why can't you do that? How have you been disrespectful to your man? And how has that played out? So, ladies, if you want more love, if you want those things to be genuine, I just want him to do it. I want him to come up with it. Are you doing your part? What would you add, Lucy?
It is interesting. And I have had experiences where women start just talking badly about their men. And that's a trigger for me. And, and I do let them know that, that's not a nice way to be referring to the person that chose you to marry him. Again, that's why do you feel so comfortable talking like that about him? That's the man that has given you that home, those children, this life. So again, it's really interesting to hear women how comfortable they feel about sharing just the negative parts about the man, where I guarantee you that that man also sees the woman's flaws, but he would never speak about them like that to their friends, families, or anybody around. It's so sad, and I have seen so many women talking about the lack of intimacy in public that they have with their husbands. You know how absolutely incredibly disrespectful that is. I can't imagine going back home knowing that my husband is going to know that I have shared such intimate things about us to other people. But then that goes to, the level of respect that this woman lacks for the husband.
Such a good point. And he talked about this, and then I'm going to see what you all are saying in the comments. Ladies, unfortunately for us, this has become the norm. So this is one of those things where you have to make a decision to be the one going against the grain, being that salmon swimming upstream. When you're around your other girlfriends and they start devolving into this conversation about men aren't, you know what, you could be like Lucy and say, hey, we're not doing that, but you definitely don't have to participate and pile on. Just know that it's everywhere. It's in pop culture. It's in media. It's in the movies. It's in everything. But if you have a man that you admire, tell him, thank him, be grateful. I know I will. I know Lucy will. Let's see what y'all are saying in the chat. Just another Mark says, men requiring so much less is not quite accurate, Maggie. The comedian Dave Chappelle confirmed if a woman was satisfied living in a cardboard box, men wouldn't buy a house. It's so true, ladies. And ask yourself this. How much are you willing to go without and do without for his benefit? Men know that they're going to work that back-breaking job that they hate, give 80% of it to the family, and live on 20%. Are you willing to do that? That's why we're not partners. Jessica says, yeah, I had a man say we were partners and he wanted me to show up. That's 50-50. There are some men that will be happy going 50-50. There are some men that will be happy letting you ladies carry the load. Yes, they are out there, but that's not the men that you want, especially not as you age. So that's why we're here trying to give you the tools to choose wisely. You get one shot. All right. You're not going to get multiple do-overs at this. And W is clapping. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that was helpful. Jurgen is confirming. And you asked about his YouTube page. Yes, Lucy shared. Thank you. This is Adam Lane Smith. And yes, you all like it. Sharing dirty laundry is disrespectful on both sides. Yes, if you're going to be in a relationship, keep something sacred between the two of you. Everything isn't for public consumption. This is just the world that we live in. I know we have all these devices and we like to share. I like to share, but ladies, there is a limit, and err on the side of caution. All right, let's go back in and see if we can watch the last of this clip, and then we will wrap it up.
Now, if you're cheating, lying, and breaking promises, that actually is about your character, not him. But what he'll feel is that you're not responding to his character with trust and respect. Disrespect usually looks like, again, rolling eyes, not listening, not caring, dismissing, and you saying, I'm going to have to do it anyway. A lot of women who say, men are pointless, men are worthless, we don't need men anymore. They say this while they're single. Then they get into a relationship with a man, and that feeling doesn't go away. That concept doesn't go away. She doesn't get with a man and then say, oh, yes, yeah, I do need a good man. There's a lot of disrespect, and it's destroying love. Disrespect is actually more harmful even than a lack of love, because disrespect undermines a man's confidence and sense of purpose in the relationship. A man who feels disrespected will often withdraw emotionally and physically, leading to massive disconnection. The impact, especially of pity and infantilization, you can love a man, but pity him and look at him like a child. Men loathe to be pitied or treated like a project. Respect means recognizing his power to grow and change, not treating him like someone who needs fixing. So even if you are trying to fix him like a child, you're cultivating him like a little flower, that is still disrespect. Disrespect doesn't even have to be mean. It can just be pity. Disrespect also triggers the release of cortisol, that stress hormone in men, particularly during moments of public or private criticism. That elevated cortisol levels disrupts cognitive clarity and erodes emotional resilience, causing men to lash out defensively or withdraw entirely. And over time, persistent cortisol spikes lead to emotional burnout and reduced intimacy and reduced interest in intimacy. It also activates that sympathetic nervous system, blocks oxytocin reception so that he cannot chemically bond for quite some time. And if he builds a cortisol association with you that whenever you're around, he feels hurt and in pain, and he's waiting for your next criticism, his sympathetic nervous system will chronically spike in your presence and block bonding with you from then on. He will probably never bond with you again. Now, again, how does respect motivate men? Well, that transformational power of respect is huge. Respect ignites a man's natural drive to protect, provide, and lead. A woman who shows genuine respect inspires her partner to be the best version of himself, worthy of her trust and admiration. Men rise to respect. Respect creates a positive feedback loop. The more a man feels respected, the more he wants to live up to it. Then he does. And then more respect is given. Then he wants to live up to that. This leads to a healthier communication, greater commitment, deeper intimacy in the relationship. You will respect him more over time as he rises to the respect that you give him. Respect also triggers dopamine, by the way, in the brain's reward chemical, which reinforces behaviors that align with leadership and competence. The more he does those good things and you give him that respect feedback, it's not, oh, good boy. It's, hey, I'm really actually very proud to be with you and seeing the growth you've made. I really respect you for the hard work you've put in and the changes you've made. And then he's going to push on those changes even more. And then you really will deeply respect him. And you say, hey, I thought I respected you before, but wow, I am continuously blown away by you. And I really respect you even more than I did before. And then he goes, right? And he increases and increases. The truth, ladies and men who are watching this, is that when men feel trusted and valued, that dopamine surge motivates them to take action even more than before, motivates them to solve problems and improve their role in the relationship. So make sure that you are communicating respect in your relationship. Respect is not just about actions, it's about what you say, how you say it, your body language, using phrases like, I trust your judgment, or I know you'll figure this out, to reinforce his sense of capability. You can give a man respect, especially when he's down, and it helps him grow. Men out there, I would love to hear your feedback on this. If this video resonated with you, even if it didn't, let me know in the comments. What does respect mean to you in a relationship? Is respect truly more important to you than love in a relationship? It is for me. I'd love to hear from your perspective. And everybody out there, if this is something you're currently facing in your relationship, this lack of respect, I can help you build some healthy relationship systems that.
Oh, that was so good. I'm so glad that this one is resonating with you all. He said a lot in that last piece, and what just kind of shook me to my core, because I can admit, and I always tell you all, I'm a reformed modern woman, but when I say that big job and that big degree, we think those accomplishments can make us better than, and we end up being more competitive, and talking to men in a way that their accomplishments, if it's not the same as ours, it's not as important as ours. And I'm not proud of that. And so I want to make sure I help the young ladies choose wisely and do better. what just made me hang my head, I think about older couples, and I'll be 50 this year, and I'm looking forward to the second half, God willing. But you see sometimes couples that have been together a long time and they still have that spark for each other. They still kind of have those little, secret inside jokes, and, they still have a fire for each other, even as we age. And y'all, we have also seen those couples where they're sitting at a restaurant. He's got his newspaper. She's got her Scrabble. No words are spoken. The food comes. They sit in silence and eat. They drive back home in silence. He goes down to the basement. She's in her room of the house, and they basically live like strangers. And I never understood that, being young and looking at older couples. Oh, thank you so much, Suave D. You all are coming through. Before I forget, I'm just going to finish this thought, please. What he just said about that chemical response. Ladies, that stress hormone, cortisol, and I am not a doctor, but that one that gives us that, dad bod or middle-aged bob or mom body, that is a release of stress. And if you disrespect your man, he begins to not consciously, but associate you with, here we go again. Here she comes again. And before you've even said anything, his body physiologically starts having a negative response to you. So ladies, if you have been nagging and nitpicking and henpecking your man, you're running out of time, because eventually, like he said, that man will just shut down and he will never bond to you again. And to me, that is just tragic, to be maybe married on paper. We had a stream where we talked about that, but there is no real bond. There's no real love there. And there's nothing like being alone in a relationship. So ladies, I implore you, if you have a man today, it won't cost you anything to compliment him, to thank him, to show gratitude. And hopefully it's not too late. Hopefully he hasn't shut down, and you still have an opportunity to appreciate what you have. Let me say thank you to Suave D for the $10, and thank you so much to Discipled One. Says one of the better videos you all have showcased. Well done, ladies. Lucy, what would you add?
That was fascinating, the scientific portion about cortisol and, what it does to, the behavior. The man completely shuts down because he's already know what's coming. That's why they cannot stand nagging. That nagging, us women asking them and asking him all the time. And, I have to tell you that I think that on my first marriage, I think I used to do that because I was very young. And it was something that was, I didn't have the opportunity to talk to my mother about some of that stuff because it's a long story, but they were here in Sacramento and I was in Florida. So the communication wasn't there. It was, that marriage should have not happened. It happened for 11 years. I mean, I tried. I think he tried somewhat, but it wasn't meant to be. So now, all those mistakes, I'm very far from making them now. And, 17 years in, and it's just a beautiful marriage. I understand what, the main desire is from my husband, and again, it's that respect. When he was talking about, women trying to fix the men like their children, it made me think about, I was watching TikTok, and this woman was saying she was, putting together the outfit that she was picking for her husband. And it took everything from me to say, is he your child, in the comments? But then I said, you know what? This is TikTok. It's going to be, it's not going to get me anywhere, positive. So I stopped doing it. But I see a lot of these women doing this social, their business, the social media business, about how they can dress their man better. And it's like, who does that? I know that it gives you clicks and whatever, but the younger women that are seeing that, they're going to think that babying your husband is the way to do it. Trust me, men despise that. Do not baby your husbands. They are grown men. Anyway, so yeah, this was a really, really good video, and his channel is amazing. I do recommend that men and women go and visit because it's got really great content in it.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see what you all are saying in the comments and we'll wrap it up. We have someone on Instagram. Zell Devon says, please give an example of nagging. So gentlemen that are watching, if you care to share, please share how you have been nagged, because I have some ideas too. But let me see what you all are saying in the comments. All right. So we answered about the YouTube page. You all are enjoying this. Absolutely. All right, let's see what else. SG says, I needed to hear this. We as women don't even know we can be disrespectful to men. I'm learning how they view disrespect, can be different in some cases than how women view it. I'm guilty of this. I am so proud of you for realizing it. That is our heart. That is why Lucy and I come here every week to share how we messed up. I can honestly say, I remember in my first marriage, he was like my biggest fan. And when you're young, you think having that, you being out in front and having somebody kind of cheer you on is what you want. Young ladies, hear me. That is not what you want. We are not built to carry that load. Then I find myself in a breadwinner position and doing all these things and my body's breaking down and I'm stressed out. We were not made to carry that. All right. So find a man that you can respect. That is the type of relationship that will last. Unless you want to do it until you're 65, that's fine. So thank you, sweetheart, for being honest about that. All right, let's see. Yes, you all are thinking. Let's see what else you all are saying in the chat. Just another Mark says, acknowledgement is a good first step. Absolutely. That's the only way we can get better. Rodney says, yes, this man is speaking facts about men and real masculinity. Ladies, what he said about this culture of the media that we live in, the social media, Hollywood, Disney, all of these movies, they will paint a picture of what masculinity is from a woman's perspective. That's why you have these women just choosing men because they like the way they hang a pair of jeans or how they have these broad shoulders or whatever. A man can be in this man's physique and be very masculine. He can be as old as Sean Connery or, any of these seniors and be very masculine. All right. So make sure you're looking for the real character traits, not what somebody who's not a man told you a man is. All right. Rodney says there's no joy or respect in being married single. Pastor I used to listen to said there's nothing better than a good marriage. There's nothing worse than a bad marriage. And I want to be old and still giggly and still flirting and still, being in love and all of the things that come after the test of time. All right. Rebecca says, was worried I joined too late, but wow. No, you all are, you're here when you're supposed to be, and the replay is always available. Lucy and I aren't here forever, but the internet is. All right. Never too late to join. NW says, thank you for saying how you've changed since your second marriage. Absolutely. I believe this is how the older women teach the young, by saying what we've done right as well as what we've done wrong. And we actually have done it. That's what makes this channel different. All right. NW says, is disrespect the same as emasculating a man? I would say you can, emasculating is definitely disrespectful, but you can disrespect in other ways. So we talked about that. He talked about this, do you talk about him when you're out? Do you disregard what he said? If he said, you know what, we really need to stick to this budget, and you go out and you're swiping your card because you want to. If he said, you know what, I really don't want you hanging out with this type of, friend or whatever, and you just like, he can't tell me what to do. So there's different ways that you can be disrespectful that aren't directly emasculating to him. All right. Similar, but not the same. SG says, I feel like I'm being spoken to right now. Good. We all learn. Disciple 1 says, when your wife speaks to you like your mother on what to do, that's nagging. All right. Zell had a question. All right. So we're not their mother. And ladies, if you have a man that you feel that you need to mother, that is not the man for you. Leave him and let him become the man that he is going to become without you. Either another woman will take him how he is. You find the man that you can respect. That is more important than any other attraction that you think that you have. All right. Just another mark says nagging is, I'm working at home one day and she walks into my office and tells me to do something. I'm already annoyed because she's talking like she's in charge of me. All right, ladies, are you bossy? Men don't like that. You love it? Good. Just another mark says, I check her and tell her to try again once I finish working. She doesn't and instead tries to command me to do whatever she wants me to do right now. Now I'm ready to tell her to leave. There you go. Ladies, I've seen this. If you're one of those that it's going to happen when I say so, no, I don't care what you're doing. We're going to talk right now. Didn't we watch a video? A man tried to leave and she got in her car and tried to drive him down in the neighborhood. No, I wasn't finished talking. We're going to handle this right now. It's not respectful. All right, Lucy, what would you say to close us out?
I had a coworker that followed another coworker, a female coworker that followed a male coworker to finish the argument that they had at work. And I'm here going, that's my cue to never be a friend of that woman, because that woman is going to get herself in trouble and I don't want any part of that. So again, just, it's women that do not have that limit. It's like, stop it. Obviously, he walked away for a reason. Why are you following him? That's not normal, first of all. Anyway, yeah, this was a good video. I like the content is amazing. Following him is one thing that we can do to just support him. And yeah, I guess we're gonna have another one on Wednesday. I guess I think I sent you something for Wednesday.
You absolutely did. And I love this. Jessica says, I love you both like the aunties I never had. That's why we're here. Neither of us have daughters. And so it is really our calling, our heart, and our purpose to make sure we leave this place better than we found it. Lucy and I are fine. Lucy told me, Maggie, we have our men. And ladies, I mean this to say the women that are happy in their relationships aren't going to take the time to help you get out of your own way. So if this is helpful for you, take it, go and do better. NW says, thank you so much. I needed this. Absolutely. And Zell on Instagram says, I get accused of this and I'm trying to grow. So I'm so glad whether you all watched live or watching the replay. Thank you so much for the support. Lucy and I are with you all Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern and then Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. And we like to give you all content that hopefully is helpful and we can all learn from. So again, thank you so much, Discipled One, for the $10. And thank you again, Swab D, for the $10. You all sponsored the stream and we appreciate it. One last announcement. If you're in Atlanta or want to come to Atlanta, we have tickets available for the Maggie Lou meetup. We only do it once a year. It's our graduation and reunion weekend for the finishing school. So the ladies that we teach are coming and we're going to celebrate them Friday, April 4th, 2025 from 4 to 6 p.m. Just a happy hour at Eclipse de Luna. Tickets are $50, unlimited beer, sangria, and lots of tapas, lots of food. Lucy has the menu curated for us. So if you want to meet me, Lucy, our students, that is our Maggie Lou meetup. Other than that, everything else is at teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. And we will see you all on the next one. So until then, we will say adios.